Hi and welcome to Degen BJJ with me, Irish Mike, my co-host.
Ken.
Sláinte. We're here on the Eagle, having a pint.
Yeah, live from the White Eagle.
Been a long time since we recorded.
On Oxford Road, so...
You might see some shenanigans out the fucking window, you'd never know.
Might have
You're
some
lucky
background
enough to
noise.
be looking at the video portion of this on Spotify. Doing all the tags there on Spotify. It's been so long since we recorded.
It's been a while, mate. Yeah, was it January? It was just after we've been to
Something
Marlow,
like
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my training catch-up's pretty brief, really. My neck hurt shortly after Marlow, and I've just been rehabbing that. Still getting down 2 or 3 times a week. Like, you know, considering we've got the little one now, still getting in there.
How are you finding training with that? Because obviously you're only training like 2-3 times a week now.
You're
getting in enough rounds.
I miss the volume, but like coming to the evenings more than the mornings helps with the.
But you're getting an hour and a half instead of an hour.
That's what I mean. You get an hour and a half, and you usually get 6 or 7 rounds rather than 2 or 3. So
and harder rolls.
If you look at the total rounds I'm doing in a week, it's probably still about the same. With the two evening classes in the open mat, probably adds up to the same as doing the 5 or 6 mornings that I was doing.
Yeah, we had a pretty good round open mat today, considering there's only 2 of us. Well, there was more than 2 of us there, but
yeah, but we just
kind of. That's the first open mat I've ever went to where I actually just like focused on just doing
just like positional stuff, wasn't it? But like going at like probably 40% and just like working through positions and figuring stuff out. Like, I think you learn a lot more doing that than you do just going in, and it's fun.
I love going in. That's probably
going in and just having an absolute scrap for as many rounds as you can manage. But I definitely think you learn more doing position. And then like when something happens and you stop and be like, okay, what are the other reactions you can give from there?
We've got some good stuff in there, like what happens if I go here, or can I move here from here, which is something I never do. Like I just go in and spare for fucking 15 rounds.
Very useful for me as well. Like there was lots of the stuff I was working on directly with like arm drag, the arm drag setup,
the arm drag takedown, it's fucking good.
And the stuff from set up guard, just playing with different stuff from that, like not going automatically fall into my back and playing supine like that.
And then I chipped your tooth like in.
Yeah, is it on the camera?
Proper spazzy Mike.
It was mine. I actually whenever this one was straight away in the moment, I was like, well, it
actually sounded like you bit into steak, and I was like, he's lost his tongue.
I might have said that about this one before, but with the mouth guard once, I was talking in a round and got kneed in the chin, and I bit my tongue, but I bit it so hard my tongue went numb, so I couldn't feel the end of my tongue, and I had bit a little bit of it off.
Was I there? Was that recently? No,
a few years ago. So I'd taken a tiny little sliver out of my tongue. So my mouth had filled with blood, my whole tongue had gone numb, and in my head at the time I was like,
I have no tongue.
I've bit my tongue off. I couldn't bear to.
And it feels like if it's only like a minuscule fucking 1 centimetre piece.
Couldn't bear. And the same with today. It was like a tiny little chip off a corner of my tooth, but I was like, it feels like I've got a gap about an inch wide between my 2 front teeth. But I think
I trained at Carlson's one time in Pinewood, and I was chatting shit to Sean, do you know what I mean? And you don't chat shit when you're rolling with high level people, because when they put something on you, your jaw is going to slam. I just caught my tongue, and like you said, your mouth full of blood. And I was like, oh my god, I've just bitten straight through my tongue. Yeah. No, it was because I was chatting so much shit, I actually got caught perfectly, real deep into my tongue and bit hard. So it took about 4 hours for the bleeding to stop. I was just going on with tissue.
I don't know what the didn't learn from that though, and stop talking.
I actually when I did NAGA there lately because the competition, and the first round I had a very dominant round, but the second one I was actually chatting shit to him while I was on the bottom. He was trying to do that judo move, they put like you were trying to do to me today, where they put it's like a Kimura.
From Kazakhstan, where you're in scarf hold and then you put it between your legs.
That weird,
and
I was like,
Americana sort of thing.
I was talking to him in the comp, I was like, I don't want to be doing that. That's dangerous. So I don't know what way what way he felt about me, but he beat me in under a minute. So he's like, all your shit talk kind of got you nowhere. But it wasn't really shit talking. Shit talking is more when you're winning the round. I was like, this is dangerous. I'm
in danger. Little Ralph Wiggum.
Ralph on the bus.
But I enjoy a bit of shit talking around. If I'm dominating or being, I was saying to you, I tried to wrist lock Rob from guard on it was Tuesday or Thursday, and it was just slapped on an awful one from bottom. And when he ripped his hand away, I looked at him and was like, well, I deserve whatever I get after this.
Yeah. It's I brought this upon myself.
Yeah, like especially with the people, like I try not to do it too much with strangers, like with people I don't know, because some people take it really badly.
If you slap a wrist lock on, I don't.
Not so much the wrist locks, like those I would do to anyone, but
I hate slap on wrist lock. If you try and wrist lock me, that's fine. In the other competition I was in, I got wrist locked in under a minute as well. My first competition, the purple belt in the Open, what is it? UK Open? What's it called? The one that was
the
on
British Open.
British Open, yeah.
Or the English. They do too. I'm not sure which of the two it was.
Yeah, and he actually was. My elbow was caught in my knee, or my elbow was caught in his leg, and he just pushed, and I went tap, and he looked at me and went tap, and I went yeah, and it was like, thank you for not smashing my fucking wrist. So shout out to Conrad Stamp for fucking absolutely humiliating me by wrist locking me in my first comp in under a minute.
Didn't you ever go against him recently?
No, that was just.
Is that hard? That was how long? Oh, man, time's flown for me. I was like, you did have a competition recently.
No, that's NAGA, yeah. That's the one I was on about with.
So he wasn't at that?
No, that was the one before.
Speaking of competitions, that's definitely something that's happened since we last recorded, isn't it?
What competition? Oh yeah, the guys winning.
Yeah.
Oh no, like yeah, that's what I was saying when I was in the NAGA one, yeah. So my first one was dominant, and that's what I was saying. I was doing that Cara Chronicles thing. Like you forget how much fun it is to go 100%, like to fucking try and fucking like use all your power and your force when you're fucking going.
And all the techniques, you're not worrying.
I might hit into someone on the mat.
Am I being a dick here?
Yeah, it's like. But your man was 49, and he actually came from Verdun in Las Palomas.
But you trained as one of your away guys. Did he remember you?
No, but his coaches did. And I was over and shaking all the hands and chatting them, but they don't speak a word of English. They just speak Spanish, that's it. And because they had kids there to translate when I was there, and one or two of them spoke English, but I was like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, my kid remembers you, and I was like, oh, I beat you in front of your kid, kind of. But he was 49, so fair play to him. Like he came down, to have a scrap against younger masters, like, so you have to give it to him as well, like, But I wouldn't be doing that shit.
Are the NAGA brackets the same as IBJJF then every 5 years?
I'm not sure. Some call it director. I was like in director's bracket. It's fucking sick, isn't it?
You know, it used to be called seniors.
No, there is seniors. There is a senior bracket, but there's a director as well. They've all these different names.
So, like masters, though, the standard masters used to be called the senior division, and now they changed the name to masters to kind of rebrand it because nobody wanted to sign up to
be senior.
Senior 1, senior 2. But maybe that was in judo, but they changed it, and now they've got what NAGA calls it, director.
Yeah, NAGA is at that age group. It's director. Yeah, there's something else after. It's all different.
It's very strange.
It's NAGA, mate. It's North American Grappling Association. But the belt is cool.
How was the event run? That was it.
I enjoyed it, and I'll definitely partake again. But I won't be.
So you just do one a year here, right?
I think so. Yeah. But the thing is, like, if you do nogi, which is the only reason I didn't do nogi. Any submission goes.
What, like in all brackets?
Yeah.
So it's not like just expert. It's.
And I'm up against purple belt, brown belts and black belts.
Oh, well, so you just group purple to black as the top bracket, which is why.
But if you are a purple belt and there's not a purple belt in it, you will have that match first. So if you're a brown belt, you'll put the brown. Like they won't mix them.
That's worse.
No, because you beat your own and then you get through to.
I guess, but
I think it's better that way because you don't want to get beat by a black belt first.
If you're a black belt. And it's like, right, so if I beat so let's say you've got a bracket, right, there's 2 black belts, 2 brown belts and 2 purple belts. So as long as you win the first, you'd hope, if belts were a fair reflection of skill, which they're not, but like, you'd be like, right, if I beat a black belt in the first round, I'm guaranteed to have a lower rank in my next round, and then maybe even lower again in the final.
Well, to be fair, like
you'd want the best 2 people to start opposite ends of the bracket.
If most people competed and a load of black belts did compete, like you should have a black belt final.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you'd want the black belt.
Jimmy, I met Jimmy who's been on the podcast.
So did Aiden was at NAGA with you, right? So before you tell your Jimmy story, like I saw Aiden in the changing room the Tuesday afterwards, and he was like, yeah, Jimmy. He's like, Mike's mate Jimmy. I was like, yeah, Jimmy Wheeler, he's been on the podcast. Goes and trains with the pedagogue guys in America a bit, and he's like, yeah, it was impressive to watch. He'd signed up to 4 brackets, and the moment that one match would finish, he'd be like, he'd already be holding up a mat on the other side of the. Like,
he literally had to speak.
So people would be waiting for him, and he'd like be running across the
He literally was
pulling his gi on and like tying his belt to jump into another bracket at the other end.
Like he won. He beat a black belt with a heel hook, which I actually posted on the reel that I did.
Oh, Jimmy Wheeler.
No, Jimmy's good. Like Jimmy's high level. Like to be fair, but like I said, would you not just do 2?
Is he full time? Does he?
Yeah,
Sorry, finish it.
Yeah, he coaches in.
So he just does jiu-jitsu now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like because like he.
That's for a good while. Like
Yeah, so I thought so.
He's actually going back to the fresh from started this month, so maybe next week for a month.
I saw in his story he'd put like his flights and that. So
that's fine as well. Yeah, but like I was like, would you not just do 2? But that's like the kind of Daisy Fresh mentality for the ego guys.
Yeah,
like, you just compete at everything. But like, man, like I was so burnt out from like I say giving it like not giving it 100% going 100%, but not using technique. Like when I watched back the video Aiden took from me, like Aiden saying drop your hips, and like if I had dropped my hips I would have got that arm triangle that I would have got like in the first minute.
Yeah.
You know, but you can't hear anything.
You get tunnel vision as well. You're bad at listening at the best of times, let alone
my missus will fucking agree with that if she listens.
The contract.
She'll say that cunt doesn't even remember what we're talking about.
You've got all the background noise and all of that. Like.
Yeah, but it was just, and like I tried 3 arm bars which I like were sloppy as fuck, but I fell off, and like I don't even do arm bars in the gym. And like I don't.
When I saw the recording of it, I was like, fair play, mate. Go for the arm bars.
I was like, imagine if I got an arm bar on comp. But no, I just want guillotines, man. That's all I want. If I get a guillotine at purple belt, I don't care how, and I win. I don't care the rest of how it goes. I want to get a guillotine in every belting competition, and I don't give a fuck. That's my goal.
Just at competition.
Yeah, I just don't care.
It's a unique goal, mate.
I've had 3 guillotines in white belt. I've had 1 in blue and one in blue.
I regret never competing at white belt. I do. Like,
that was my best competition.
I wish
and I actually did 2 divisions and had loads of matches, and I came 3rd.
Before your body was smashed to bits, and you could actually handle. Like,
and I only lost 1 match, and I got 3rd. So I don't know how the fuck that worked.
Probably it's the residues of the juice still in your system from when you were.
No, probably not. I wish.
Probably not.
But
you enjoyed NAGA then, just to.
I'll be going back 100%.
For next year.
And like I started, my first match was at 5:20. So for me to want to go back after starting so late.
I was saying about Jimmy, just to loop back on that actually, like, I remember the one time I did gi, absolute and no gi in like one of the All-Stars, I think it was.
Yeah.
One of those, just by the time no gi came around in the evening, I was like, I don't even want to do
that was Fleet. Because we all had the no gi on.
Yeah.
It was all of us.
I was like, I'm never going to do.
Because what they did was they put us on at 10:30. And then it was 4 o'clock.
I don't mind doing gi and absolute, but like the idea of doing 3 brackets in a day, like just.
Man, imagine doing 4.
Doing 4 is just too much, mate. What's he trying to prove?
Your man jumped guard on him as well, on his knee. Fucking hell, man.
Did it give him a?
Your man, he's called No Jesus of Nazareth or something.
I like that.
But yeah, you'll rate that. But he's on the scene big time.
Like another full-time jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I was like, oh, and he's like, my
Jimmy's knee all good.
Jimmy was like, my knee's fucked after that one. I was like, yeah, that didn't look right. So, but like he's still powered on, like as I say, going after the match. Like I was cornering him, like me cornering.
Really?
Like, I just said there was no one with him because the people that were in, I was like, don't let him get that, you know. And like I was just hoping if he does make any cuts of the reels, like just
your voice
put music over.
Yeah, mute it. He's like way ahead of you, Michael.
Yeah. But
did you enjoy that though? Because did you and Aiden corner each other as well, or did you have someone to corner you?
No, Aiden didn't compete. So
Aiden corner. That was it. Paddy was competing.
Paddy was competing as well.
Shout out Paddy Dalu.
Yeah, also been on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
But no, like the whole experience was very good, you know, and I enjoyed it. And like the belt is fucking sick.
Yeah, because NAGA gets a bit of like a rap in America, like as a.
They think it's a local shit competition.
Yeah, lower tier tournament because they do like. I think it's kind of like, you know. I can't say what I was going to say without unintentionally shitting on one of the tournaments in this country that I do regularly compete on, so I don't want to say that. So,
but the thing is,
you know what I mean.
There was a guy on
in America. There's enough IBJJ, like whereas in England we've only got one IBJJF tournament like twice a year. The London one, it's like, you know,
there was a guy that made a reel about this, and he's like, I don't know, but like he competes at Worlds and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, you guys have, someone commented, oh, you have NAGA belts in your wall. Oh, good for you, like. And it's like, he's like, Yeah, of course we have NAGA belts. He said if you go to local competitions, Jacob Couch or whatever just competed at whatever NAGA. Like, yeah, we have local belts here. But I was like, that's such a stupid fucking view to have. Now, obviously, like, the world-class people compete on world-class stages. But everyone competes at the smaller stages. And, like, the people that are going to be world-class are going to have to start on the local.
And I think also, until the IBJJF start paying their winners, then it's like, why are we differentiating between NAGA? Why are we giving them so much power? It's like, the only ones that really matter.
Invitationals are where it's at.
Yeah, the only ones that, like, you know.
That obviously. EK guy one, like they pay like £1,000 to wipe it. Do you know what I mean? Like we spoke about on the last podcast, but so I won't go to reverse back into it again. But like.
But no, like obviously, like ADCC Worlds, those big like invite events where you either have to qualify or invite, they do set themselves apart. But like to be comparing like IBJJF Worlds to NAGA, like at the end of the day, you are paying to enter that, and you're not. It was winning prize money for it.
£92.
Yeah, that's an IBJJF in London.
For NAGA.
Yeah, but IBJJF's 140. If you include the membership you have to pay for the year, I think it works out about 140. And it's like.
But did you see the size of the belt? If I won, like I wouldn't have given a fuck.
I just don't think we should be saying, this one tournament I pay for is better than this other tournament I pay for.
I mean,
it's fair enough if you say, this tournament that pays me prize money is better than these tournaments that don't. But to have an elitism when you're paying for the entry is ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, that's fair.
It's like
that's a good point. Yeah. But anyway.
It's like having a favourite stripper. It's like,
what
are you doing?
Speaking of that, a lot of rapiness going on in Jiu-Jitsu.
There's a lot of rapiness going on in the world if you checked out the files, mate. I feel like.
What do you reckon? What do you think about Andre? I know you're.
No, I can't. I don't think anything about him anymore, mate. The man has blocked. The man has blocked me, and I got sent a cease and desist kind of message.
You got a cease and desist?
Not a cease and desist, but like just a one that's like, please do not continue to defame Andre Galvao and Atos, otherwise you'll like be blocked from all. Like, I haven't been blocked from the Atos pages, just from his. And like like when ADCC blocked you. They did block like all related followers, and because we share the Degen page, it would block.
Your name is on top, or two names on the top.
All, but also because I have access to it, so everyone with access to that account, because that's the account that posted the meme, gets blocked. But Andre obviously didn't do that because I logged into the Degen page and I can still go and post on him. So sorry to tell you, Andre, I'm still coming for you, baby.
You rapey bastard, allegedly.
I'm not letting. No, because I was saying to you like before this, like. The fight sports allegedly. I'm gonna just sprinkle the odd allegedly, and then just so we don't.
Everything we're speaking about is allegedly.
So we don't get sued. But like, Cyborg.
This actually came out because he had a thing about
from fight sports. Like a few years ago, there was a similar scandal where they did a camp and somebody allegedly got raped, and him and some other black belts helped the alleged rapist escape the prosecution and like flee back to Brazil or wherever they got away to.
Is it because you can't be prosecuted from Brazil?
I think they don't extradite. They some countries have a non-extradition order. It's why why so many British people hang around in Bali.
Do you ever watch these reels where it's like core, where it's like Melon Wa core, and it just shows you loads of videos of Melon Wa's doing shit? Is Brazilian core the new rapey thing?
You said it.
I mean, it's not a private message.
No, I've got lots of.
No, I hear. I'm not. I'm saying Jiu-Jitsu has gone. If you're looking,
Jiu-Jitsu's had its Me Too moment for sure, mate.
It's not even Me Too because like he went back after a month.
Yeah.
He took like 2 months off.
That's and now he said Me Too. He's like, wait.
He's like, I'm involved. It's more of a Me Too, I'm involved, as opposed to Me Too, I've been raped.
Me Too. He's like,
sorry, Jesus, that's not funny. I shouldn't have said raped. No. I should have said sexual. Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, the whole like.
It's not actually something to laugh about.
Let's take the joke away for a second. Like the whole thing is abhorrent. Like us being blocked and making, the reason we've been blocked or I've been blocked is because I'm pointing out something that especially as a father of a daughter now, I feel like. We've spoken before about how good this sport can be for people, and it's so sad when like someone gets that. Like
they have the power and they're looked up to. You trust them, and then
this sport could have been a great thing for someone, and then instead they had that terrible experience from it. And like the reason I brought up the Cyborg thing was because that kind of just after a cycle got swept under the rug. Like hilarious talking about Cyborg and cycles but. But yeah, after one news cycle, that got swept under the rug, and he was back teaching and stuff. And it kind of feels like that's what Andre Galvao's tried to do. It's like disappear for a little bit.
He didn't like. They even signed the name over to his daughter.
But none of the legal stuff ever did. It was still his gym.
Yeah.
And popped back up, and now it's like they're obviously curating their comments because they delete all the comments that say anything that points to this. And it's like if you.
But there's some. There's
love
some
him
stuff
or hate
happening
him.
closer to home as well. There's a few black belts
Loads
locally, like.
Oh, what here?
Been accused.
We'll get onto that in a second. Though,
No, I don't have names. I'm not fucking going that far. But I've seen like things on the Instagram stuff, like so it's.
But like. Love or hate Gordon, right? All the stuff about, all the Reddit rumours about him, when people comment that shit on his page, he doesn't curate it. He'll either reply to it and say this is nonsense, or he'll just leave it be.
Yeah, he'll even address it when you probably shouldn't.
And let other people argue about it. But the fact that Andre, when these allegations came out, he lost a load of like his top black belts, people that have been with him for life, right? It's like there's obviously something more to this.
There's some guy in Italy. It's like I stand with him. You see that?
Zurich. It's an Austria. Yeah, like some fucking very low IQ take, mate. Very low IQ take as well.
Like he's obviously benefiting somehow financially from this.
Innocent until proven guilty. It's like, is that going to let you're going to let your family go and train there? Because, well, we didn't find him guilty, but there were a load of accusations.
Gordon got a load of flack over messages that he had with Joanne when she was like 16 about bikinis, and it's like, he's not that autistic where he knows he shouldn't.
I don't know, bro. I just don't think you should be.
That's what I'm saying. Like
all of it. It's like
I don't think he's he doesn't
like,
seem the rapey type, but don't be having an argument with a 16-year-old on fuck. Like, do you ever? So there's a load of far right stuff like in Ireland going on right now, and like I often want to reply. Do you know?
You're a moron.
No, it's a type of message.
It's just bots, man.
No, but it's not like it is.
I think a lot of it's bots, man.
No, I do agree with that because when you win, there's no followers, no account, no thing. But there are like people that are. It's like when you go to comment on something and then you're like, no, do you know what? I don't even want the flack that's going to come my way. Because it's not real people.
Don't feed the trolls, mate.
Yeah.
Don't feed the trolls.
You like a bit of trolling.
I do love a bit of trolling. Only when it's for like something like this that I
I'm not
genuinely disagree with. But yeah, just to finish the thought with the Andre thing, it's like, so first things first, the allegations, we'll call them allegations for the sake of legal issues, come out. He loses a load of top black belts for the gym.
Like instantly?
Instantly, like within a matter of days. For 3 weeks or something, he says, I'm stepping back from leadership of the gym, my daughter's going to run it, and then he pops back up and now is curating his comments. It feels like what he's done is he's taken...
He went to Worlds, or one of them big competitions with all the women.
Pans, yeah.
Jesus.
And it's like, it's also, the way in which he's doing it is so tone deaf, is just hilarious. Have you noticed that when he does photos with the male athletes, he'll have his arms around them, and when it's with the female ones, he's like sat in front of them, like almost like a pimp.
Jesus Christ.
But after...
Because his wife, your one said, like, she went and told his wife.
Yeah, like, I don't want to get too much into the
but
specifics of, like, like apparently she told his wife and his daughter, who both tried to sweep it under the rug, allegedly.
Yeah.
But, like, there's people that have covered it in way more detail than us if you actually want to find out. Just search, like, Andre Galvao /Atos scandal, or Andre Galvao news even on Google, and you'll find it.
Or like if Andre Galvao alleged rapist, you know,
all that
get you like.
But like, just
it's shit though.
You know, with like the cyborg thing, obviously it gets swept under the rug. I just don't think. Like, I think as a duty of people that love this sport, you've kind of got a duty to. Yeah, you can't just single out one person. Make sure that these things don't just get swept under the rug again as well. And when something like this does happen, you just kind of act with your morals in the way that you see fit. You know, if that in you, whatever weird twisted morals you have you just bury your head in the sand and say like, oh well, innocent until proven guilty, or like, you know, you choose not to get involved.
It would be hard.
On my social medias, I generally don't get involved in politics at all, right? Because that's not my thing, right? There's people that do that if that's what you want to engage with. But like, the things I do is my life, like my travel life and jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, you don't really go into the whole outside of the world. It's between your friends and you.
And my jiu-jitsu. So if I'm doing a jiu-jitsu commentary and something like this happens, and like, you know, I see stuff that I find hypocritical popping up on my feed, I'm going to at least point out. I'm not going to jump too deep into any allegations. I just feel as someone who loves this sport and wants to keep it safe for everyone, I have a duty to. There's
only two things I really jump in on outside of it, and it catches me sometimes. It's like people that talk shit about Palestine, and it's anything that comes to the north of Ireland. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Northern Ireland, by the way. I'm saying north of Ireland.
Those two things that, again, this isn't a history politic, but like...
No, it's just something that I think about, and I'm like, when I see people talk shit online, sometimes like, that's when I'm saying I'd write a comment.
Those two things are intrinsically linked, though.
Yeah.
If you don't understand why, then you need to look into the history of it. Like,
exactly.
we're not going to go into that now, but like you got to understand that. Like,
but if I have a few cans at home and I'm like fucking looking at my phone and I see something, like, because I do follow some of the far right stuff, because the problem with them is they're clever, because they post stuff you do agree with sometimes, and then you're like, then the next one is just like a pure swing and a miss, like, and you're like, I should unfollow, but also you need to see what the other side is doing. Like, do you know, I think I'm very good at stepping back from things and looking at them when I'm not emotionally connected to it too much. Do you know, because sometimes you just go fucking hell, you know, and it's like wrong take, and you'll apologise a week later, but like, or maybe not at all, you know, depending on what way you're.
I think I talked about this actually with Rob's Iran comment, though. I think for me it's like I just try and focus immediately on what's going on around me and not engage with it too much on a bigger scale.
Manage your own garden or whatever.
Yeah, tend to the part of the garden you can touch.
Yeah. That's what you said in the last one.
Yeah. But like because otherwise it's just overwhelming and too much. But yeah, it's kind of shit what's going on in Jiu-Jitsu. But there's also
obviously fantastic things going on as well.
Fantastic things too.
The thing is, it just seemed to come like a wave of it, didn't it?
Yeah, like the Epstein files and then that all happening together. It makes you, like, I was actually talking to the missus about this, it does make you feel like a bit like powerless in a sense. It's like
I feel like that about everything, don't I?
If everyone, like, you know, like when you were a little kid at school and you got in trouble for something that wasn't your fault, and you were like, well, even if what can I do against this now? Like, you know, I'm being prosecuted for something that's out of my control. It feels like that with the Epstein files. It's like, it's so big. It's like, where do we even begin addressing this? These people have obviously got away with it because the major news cycle's already moved on.
And then if you look into like Israel and stuff,
this is what happens when you get a couple of beers in us and hit on the pen a couple of times.
Yeah, but then you go like into Israel and stuff, and then you're like, you know, like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like,
yeah.
And then you get ambulance being burnt out.
Is the what worth the squeeze?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to say juice when I mean something else, but. To see them ambulances getting burnt out in the false flag attack then as well, like.
No, man. Again, I don't really engage with it.
But
that's why I try and stick to the old jiu-jitsu and.
It's just like, I mean, it's just mad, like.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just crazy, like all that kind of stuff going on, and like all I want to do is just go train jiu-jitsu and come back from work. I had a director give me a dressing down the other day, and I was kind of like caught off guard. No, it was on the phone, and I was caught off guard. And
so you were like, meet me in
the
car park.
I was like, look, mate, and he's like, don't call me mate on the phone. And I was like, what the fuck?
All right,
I'm going to call you a dickhead.
All right, cunt. Okay, if you insist, I'll address you by your formal title.
It's like, sometimes I feel like that's probably the same atmosphere that's in like some of the jiu-jitsu gyms where like people feel like they can't speak to their coach like a certain way. You know, because like, don't you come and
not
talk
that hierarchy sort of thing.
You know, it's like, and that fucks everything up.
I think the bigger the gym gets as well. I remember when I was in Sao Paulo and I trained at Alliance there. Actually, it was like such a big gym that like I can imagine like some of the head coaches, right, the guys that actually set it up, probably only coach once or twice a week now, right? And it's like you might have been training there for a few years and only seen them at gradings, and it's like. You know,
because
if you
work
work for a big
money,
company
like.
And you see it's like you were saying, your CEO or like your director level people, and it's like, you know, they become like
higher than holier.
Like it's a hierarchy that like I don't think any good comes from that.
No, you need to be able to engage with people.
Yeah,
when your man comes on site, the same fella, like nobody can talk to him.
Oh really? It's one of those. Okay.
Like my boss now, currently I have a new boss, and he comes in, he shakes everyone's hand every day, and in construction, like that's just something that people want respect.
That's culty behaviour.
Yeah, it's like everything's kind of related back to jiu-jitsu in some way or other, isn't it? When you make it your life, you find everything that's similar to it.
Everything mirrors everything, though, isn't it? It's like
if you want to find links between fucking driving a race car and fucking jiu-jitsu, you'll find it somehow.
Easy. But yeah, so back to the jiu-jitsu talk. Obviously, with the nonciness aside, right?
Yeah.
You've done NAGA. You've been about a fair bit, haven't you? You've done a couple of away days, have you?
Yeah, I went to Baldock yesterday. Obviously, my mother lives up there, so I go up there quite a lot. It was funny because your man Simon, he's a brown belt there. He actually runs the Instagram page, and he just messaged, "Open invite to come and train you guys anytime you're up."
And it's kind of sick. So he listens.
No, just out of I don't even know if he listens.
Must
but
do,
it was just out maybe, and it was just like out of the blue, and I was like, oh, sound, and I was like, and it was only then I looked into where the place was, and I was like,
and it's near where your mum lives.
Yeah, and I've been going up there for like, she's there like 3 or 4 years. Like I could have been going up there every odd Sunday having a training session. Really good gym and good people, like, you know. He was sound as well.
Was it like a fundamentals and open mat?
It was like a gi fundamentals, and it was the stuff we were actually drilling today. Like, remember I was showing you the grip on the ankle, kind of reverse grip.
That kind of rush pass thing.
Head to chest.
Passing,
it was nice. But it was good stuff. Good people. Got tapped twice by 2 people same belt as me. Wasn't, you know, that's not nice when you go in. Not that like it was a competition going or anything like that, but it's always nice to go into a place and fucking, you know, say, it was good, but I got manhandled.
Someone was talking about that the other day to me actually in the changing room. They were like, you know what it's like when you go somewhere, like, you know, you don't want to upset anyone, so you kind of roll a bit lighter. I was like, no, I've never done that in my life. I was like, for me, it's like just a slightly dialed down comp roll.
Yeah, you don't want to get tapped. But
I am showing you my jiu-jitsu.
No, me, I don't have that. We were actually talking about that. I don't have that competitive streak in me. Like.
I think it's too much sometimes. Though I think that's why my neck. You know, it's
No,
every time I've got injured and I speak to Dominic about it, he's like, "Have you considered changing how you roll?" It's like, I haven't even thought about it once, mate. It's like now I'm getting a bit older and that. I'm like, actually, I probably should.
I think like if someone like turns it up on me, I will kind of like just laugh about it and maybe even get to a position. But if someone turns it up on you, you will turn it up on them, and then eventually you're actually going from like our normal gym rolls to a comp roll. Like, and
so
that's
a knife fight escalates into nuclear war, mate.
And then you're like, fuck that guy for 2 months. And then 3 months
later,
later,
I've got a lot better at not doing it.
And on 3 months, you're like, yeah, he's sound, we're all good. And I'm like, you hated him for the last 2 months. What camp am I in, Ken? I've not been talking to this guy because you said.
I haven't been meditating with you. I've been meditating under the waterfall, and I found another level of enlightenment. But I was actually going to say that at the beginning with the chip tooth. I was like, the more I think about it, the more I feel like that it's always every single injury that's ever happened to me at jiu-jitsu is my fault. There might be.
That wasn't even your fault, though.
There might be one neck injury where, like, but it was. I didn't put a mouth. We started doing drilling, and I didn't put a mouth guard in.
But we weren't doing anything.
But we were doing
serious.
active
drilling. A lot of stand up as well.
Yeah. Like it just.
It's only you were talking. The same shit that happens to me.
It's never worth not having a mouth guard in. Yeah. When you're doing anything that's above like.
Yeah, because we're going like 40-50%, like. And then there was a few explosive moments.
And because we were like figuring out what reactions you can give from different positions. It's like there were times when I could have zigged and you zagged, and it was like, you know. And the same with like other injuries. It's like I always had the option to tap, and I chose to try and like work an escape or like tough something out when it's just retard shit, really.
I'm actually getting a bit more like that lately, where I'm trying to tough things out a little bit more.
And that's how you end up with chronic injuries.
Yeah, and then sore.
Like when I originally injured my neck in 2021, I don't think that was my fault. I got like spiked on my head, but I equally don't think that the person wrestling with me intended to spike me on my head. It was just like I'd gone to roll for the legs at the time. They'd chosen to pick me up, and the way that it crashed. But I think people need to have more personal accountability for that. 100%. Because there's been a lot of different, and I'm not going to again name anyone specific, but there's been lots of like I've heard rumblings in group chats, other group chats, not ours, of people that like every time they get an injury at training, like with us, it's like not us training with me or you directly, maybe not. I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible, but yeah, people that every time there's an injury, like they never take any personal accountability for it.
There's people like that in the gym anyway. But everywhere you go, you're going to have people like that.
But I think people need to take some personal accountability. This is a combat sport. Sometimes you'll get hurt and it will be nobody's fault. And sometimes you'll get hurt and it will be your fault.
To be fair, if you go in with an injury and then you're still sparring and your injury gets re-injured because you're older person, it's not technically the other person's fault. No, if you go in and you turn it up on someone and then they match, because I think is it something Dom said or something, I don't want to put words in his mouth or something, but he says you have to be careful when you give someone like the beans. He wouldn't definitely say that, but like because they will give it to you and don't. I think what he says is don't go as hard as you don't want someone to give it, because if you raise that level and they raise the level and you don't like it, it's on you. Like, you know? And
he's definitely said that. It's
so it's like don't know the level that you don't want to come back at you. And I think it's usually said to white belts because like they go wah, I'm gonna fucking kill him. And then some lads fucking breaking his ankles. Like, do you know what I mean?
Obviously, if someone puts something on and you tap and they keep putting it on, then that's definitely on them. But like, I think a lot.
Also, if you tap and someone keeps cranking.
Yeah.
It's on. You know what I mean?
You've got to have some personal accountability in this being a combat. You don't want it to be completely pussified, like a lot of like a lot of karate schools and taekwondo schools and stuff are, where it's like it feels like it's more a martial art for kids than it is
such
like
a good segue.
Do
you remember that competition I sent you?
Which one? Oh, yeah, I sent it to our coach and he was like, inventors used to have good ideas that helped solve problems. He's like, now look.
So I can't remember him. I'm not going to call him out because look, there's a
because they're obviously like this is the thing. Nobody does something thinking they've got a bad idea. No one thinks this is a terrible idea. Let's run with it. No, but normally people do things because they think it's solving a problem.
To be fair,
it is a terrible idea.
Do you think so? I think
for jiu-jitsu, yeah.
I think
it's like playing poker with no money. It doesn't make sense without.
But loads of people do it. Yeah. Online.
And they're retarded. Isn't that old video? It's like, democracy is decisions for the people, by the people. But the people, they're retarded. it's like that. It's like loads of people do it. So further evidence. So the people, they're retarded.
When this page first popped up, so basically, just to summarise, sorry, because people don't know what we're talking about. I'm not going to name them because one, I can't remember them, and two,
couldn't name them if I wanted to.
Basically, you can compete. You both get a medal at the end of it, no matter what happens. There's no scoring done. Or maybe is there scoring done?
No score, but they tell you at moments that would have scored, I think.
I don't know what way it works, but basically you both get a gold medal.
So in the moment they indicate a moment that would have scored, but then no score is kept.
Yeah, so, but basically you both win gold medals no matter what happens.
You both get a medal because you both turned up and tried.
It's participation medals, which is like my last two competitions, or well, definitely my first one anyway, at Purple, where I just turned up, got fucking wrist locked in a minute and got a silver medal. But
and weirdly, I don't find that as cringe as doing a one-off bout and giving both people participation medals. Like when there's no, there's no subs, there's no, no points.
I don't even know how the subs work. To be fair, if you do get a sub,
you just reset and carry on.
Oh,
so it's like when like when you roll at the gym. Yeah, you get another chance to go from standing.
Oh, okay, so it's just like a 5-minute round, like in the gym.
It's just like a roll.
But look, obviously some people, it probably gives them the feel of going to a competition, and they're obviously making money out of it to say that they do it, so there is enough people interested. But when you're on about pussifying the sport, I think that's like, I hate participation medals. I haven't collected my.
Bro, if you don't want to.
Do you know Alex from Salisbury BJJ? He actually shows up, gets like default gold because no one, like he's done loads of talking about this, how like he'll register for comp, show up, and because he's a big guy and he's weight class, there's like probably 10 people in the country, he's probably going against the same 10 all the time. Guys will register, pull out of the day. He travels like from there to go compete, and he gets a default gold, and he goes, I'm not even collecting it. He goes, oh, this was, you'll give it back to him. And I'm like, I respect that, but like, it's, I don't know, like.
I find that less cringe, or maybe the default gold is just frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you've gone there.
Because he wanted it, and he's probably done work as well. He's high level, like, you know.
Let's say you're in a bracket of 3, right? You do your 2 matches, you lose them both, and then you end up standing on the podium for the photo, and you can take your bronze home.
Yeah.
Right? That I find less cringe than doing a 0-point participation medal, because what you did is you made weight, you turned up, you had a go, and you accepted your loss. You took your losses like a man or a lady. You actually took
them medals at home in the house. I didn't take them on in Euros at the time. I was like, fuck it, I'm not getting the medal.
But was that out of your own frustration? More than anything?
Yeah, it was like...
Was that the time you like passed out in the wheelbarrow?
I what?
Was that the time you like collapsed in the wheelbarrow?
No, Paddy told me to roll forward, and I'm going. If you listen, Paddy, Paddy shouts roll forward. The Instagram videos there, I rolled forward and I got bow and arrowed.
No, you rolled into the choke? Sort of
I rolled in, he caught me in the bow and arrow. Yeah. I tried to escape the other side, and he caught me in a different one.
That sounds like it was the best man on the day, to be honest.
No, it was 100%. But I have to blame someone. I do have a bit of an ego as well, because I never hear what anybody says. And I did that, and like, that's the match.
Yeah, the one time, that's why you don't listen to coaching. It's
the one time I could hear.
I did, it coached me into a loss.
But but sure, look, I mean, Paddy is more technical with his jiu-jitsu than me anyway. So like,
Yeah.
It's like Aiden, like everything Aiden said, like I said before.
Aiden's a good corner, I think.
Yeah, very good.
I think Aiden's got a good.
And he got his first goal as well. So shout out to Aiden,
him and Slim Fetus, aka Fergus. Both went to the
also
All-Stars.
known as the 16-year-old I put on 2-week bans because he just taps me all the time with foot.
I think he is like 19 now, but.
He's still the 16-year-old to me, even though he probably wasn't 16 when he started jiu-jitsu. He's always going to be 16 to me. Yeah.
He's not been doing it that long, but yeah, they both went to All Stars Europeans.
Yeah, not doing it that long and completely smashes the granny out of me.
Does really well, but he like lives it. You know, he's young, no responsibilities.
Yeah, I don't. To be fair, I'm old with no responsibilities. I just have to keep my missus happy.
Just have to do a job as well, look, you know.
Yeah.
A real
stress,
job.
real stressful job.
Yeah. So yeah, you competed. You did another away day as well, I think.
I did, and I'm fucking going to be very bad.
No, you did Henley.
I actually did Henley in prep for NAGA. Because in Henley on Tuesday night
they do a harder session.
It's all sparring
as well, and ours is no gi.
It's all positional sparring for like 40 minutes, and then it goes into normal sparring, and then there's an open mat after. So I realised something about myself is that I need to actually gas out once before I'm actually good.
Yeah.
I need to burn myself out like properly, and then I'm good. Whereas like,
in your warm up should burn you up for a competition. I agree, mate. I said this like because that was my when I boxed. That was the way. Like you'd get a good sweat on before you went in.
Like not a warm up sweat. I need to fucking go.
But like that's. And I think people misjudge what a warm-up sweat is. Like for me, for a competition, you want to have almost done a round.
Yeah, like a hard, really hard 5 minutes.
Because you think about when you do your rounds at the gym, your best rounds are always your like second or third round, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a slow starter.
You want to get. Like, I think for everyone though, I think like you want to get, especially if you're like a master's senior, director level athlete.
I'm a director. Director of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, I think you need a good sweat on there.
Call it there?
I'm trying to think, maybe call it there. I'm trying to think what's gone on. Like there's, like I said at the beginning, for me it's like, my neck tweaked for shortly. I think the last podcast video you can see it, but all the way through, because I don't listen to I hate my own voice, so I don't listen to it back. But I had skimmed some of the video because I was like, we've done a video for the first time. I bet I'm like picking my balls or something stupid like that. Shit. So, but I could see that like the whole way through recording I'm doing this. So yeah, like my pre-diet, I already knew I had one bulging disc. Found out I got 2 more, but they're only like minor protrusions.
I taught a technique.
So yeah, that was it. I knew there was one more thing. So yeah, like since we last recorded, most of what I've been doing is just rehabbing my neck and rolling.
Because even when we were rolling, I don't want to because my game is all front head.
Yeah, I purposely haven't done any away days because I'm like, if I can't go and have good rounds, what's the point in paying extra to go to a gym that isn't my home gym? Yeah. Also,
you get clubbed, and the next thing is like, tomorrow you look up and you're like, I can't turn my neck on.
As we mentioned earlier, I don't have that chilled out vibe when I go and roll.
Yeah, someone grabs you like that, you're like, okay, it's on now.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been good though. Like we're saying, haven't taken any time off. It's just been dialed back the intensity, which is something I couldn't do years back.
So having a kid does make you better at life.
It does, but definitely made me a bit more. Well, it's also made me a bit more conscious. Like before, I'd have just trained through this till it was I'd be.
You have to worry about
other people. I'd be to the point where I couldn't get out of bed with it. Whereas like with this, as soon as it started flaring up, I was like, "Fuck! If I can't look after the kid for a couple of days, then that's a bigger consequence. So I should probably stop rolling."
My biggest hurt is when I just can't wake up in the morning and tie my shoelaces.
But that was you remembered the 3 things. That was like you'd done away days and you competed and won a silver, and you taught a technique for the first time.
Yeah, which was actually some crack. Like I talked way too much.
So how did it come out? And where did you teach?
Guillotine, obviously.
Yeah. And where were you?
In the university in Reading.
It's the student club, the student jiu-jitsu club, right? Where Squish normally teaches at it, but he called in sick or something.
Yeah. So him and Aiden was taught something, and I was like, he's like, do you want to teach something? I was like, fuck, do you know what, I will. Because like, but do you know
what? Luke and Ish there as well?
No.
Just Luke?
Luke showed up, yeah. And he was like, the black belt was there and the blue belt and the purple belt were teaching.
He just laughing the whole way through.
But no, I had a good round with him, and I hadn't seen him like in 4 or 5 weeks, like, so it was good to catch up as well. But after I taught the technique, I was like, oh, I could have told them to do it this way. like I was teaching them like how to lift, like once you have the headlock, lift to get the foot in for, you know, to fall back and get the guillotine. But like I could have said, you need to plant their head here, you know, because if you just think that you're putting your head here, because they're all kind of going everywhere, like, and if you just put that detail in, and there was other things in, because I talk way too much, I babble a lot, and
I think that's what what's his name, the guy the Limerick Slide by, his comment, because you did a Car Chronicles thing on teaching a technique. His comment was spot on. It's like we've said, like, you know, competing's a skill, right?
Yeah.
Teaching again is a skill. So
obviously,
learning how to trim the fat off of what you were describing, and like what are the key bits you really need to focus on. And the fact that, you know, it gets everyone better. He
sent me a video of like him teaching a move, and it was just like, this is me teaching a move like back in the day. You know,
did
and
he?
Like, I have a good probably go back and forth with him more than a lot of people.
He's a good guy for sure. I've got a lot of time for his kind of ethos and that. Like he's just there to get scraps and fucking get better at jiu-jitsu.
Him and Asim are very similar. That they're lead from the front. Yeah, that they will compete like, but like.
You know, I wouldn't have naturally thrown him and Asim in a pool together as people that I think are similar, but
in that respect.
Yeah, anyway, they are in their own ways. Actually, we were talking about the Irish-Palestine link before.
Yeah, I think there we go. Yeah,
they're similar than you.
There's more similarities and the jiu-jitsu connection with everything.
Yeah, learn the history, man. Learn the history. And so you taught a good team. You feel like you enjoyed it. I reckon too much, but I
reckon I could sync it up with, like, it's something I'd want to get into is teaching, and so I'd take any opportunity I can. But with no experience in teaching, and as being someone that can't learn, finds it very hard to learn techniques, and like even just the position of my own body when people say things, I find it harder to explain myself. You know, and like sometimes I'll be thinking.
Do you feel your jiu-jitsu is more conceptual? Like, you know, like what feels right in different positions? You're very rarely trying to do a specific technique. You're just trying to
I kind of
achieve a goal.
No, I need to do things 5 times and at the worst before it gets half right. And it's just about improving from there. Like, you know, it's certain techniques I just, like, even someone just telling you to put your hand that way, I'd be like, oh.
Because the way I learn is really conceptual, right?
Like I have to do it.
I very rarely, like, if somebody teaches a technique, very rarely do I remember the specifics of the technique.
I have to physically do it 15 times to get a grasp of it, and then I need someone to say you're doing this wrong, and then I can correct from there. But the problem is,
so you do remember the techniques in the end.
Sometimes I'm getting better at it as the more I go through jiu-jitsu. But the thing is, if I do it wrong the first time, I will probably revert to that every time because I've just learned it that way.
So like it's
very hard to correct.
Yeah, so for me, like, I don't remember like the specifics of the technique, but I'll remember the kind of broad strokes of the concept, like something like a easy one, like a leg lock escape, where you're clearing the knee line. I might not remember the exact way they told me to grip, like, you know, you grip the knee, you push it down, you turn your heel away, but I'll remember, right, I need to hide my heel and clear the leg line, and those concepts.
I step it. I like to step it. I like.
Yeah, so
I go like 1 is grab here, 2 is grab here, 3 is grab here.
So I think that's why I'd struggle to teach, is because for me it's like I could teach you a technique, but all I'm going to focus on is the concepts here. Like, so, you know, for me to, you know, for this pass to work, they need both their shoulders flat on the mat to before that, or, you know,
everyone
you need
learns
an
differently
underhook,
as well. So it's and it's very hard. Like,
interesting. Like, I just, because when you said you taught the technique, I went away that evening and thought, like, I wonder what I'd teach. Like, if it was my first time.
I could only teach good.
If it was the first time, like, you know, a bunch
of
students that don't. I'd probably do I thought that I'd probably do a knee cut. Like, it would probably be some variation of.
I think your arm bars are very good, especially the switch. If it was an advanced class, like your switch, the way you switch.
So that's what I was like. If I had to teach a whole class, I think it would be knee cut pass, knee on belly, underhook, opposite side armbar, and that would be the sequence. Something that I know I've hit at competition. I feel confident. Like, if somebody asks me questions, like
I'll be honest with you. When you taught a technique and one person hit it and you see it,
it's
like
passed on knowledge, man. It's like, even like, so not related.
Even though it might have just been pure strength and nothing else.
my daughter's weaning at the moment, so like coming off of milk, and we're giving her solid food, right? So with some of it, like, she'll pick up the food and like look at it, and then you'll pick up the same thing and like you'll bite and chew it, and she'll like watch you and then like do this. It's like that, right? It's like you've given a baby a skill that they're going to use for life. Like, white belts are jiu-jitsu babies.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh look, he's fucking it up, right? Just getting it all down himself, but he's chewing.
I just be there putting it on in my eye, up my nose.
But no, it's that's cool, man. I'm glad. I hope you get more opportunities to do that. Do you think if you go back there, you'll have chances?
Adam offered before, and I was just like, no.
But
then when he wasn't there, and Aidan was like, I was like, fuck it, I'll try. And Luke actually said like it was good enough, but I think I gave way too much detail, and then I babbled on about it. Whereas I probably should have broke it down into 2 bits. Here's how you secure it, and we'll focus on the choking after. Yeah. You really think about like how you could have improved it after you fucked it up.
And that's why it's important to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that helps you.
And like I think like even for that once like technique of just teaching that, I think it's made my guild team better. Just thinking about how to teach it to someone.
Exactly.
And that was 5 minutes. Like. So imagine like people have done it for fucking never and ever and ever.
Yeah. They just hones it. Yeah. That's what we were saying like about Connor, who coaches at our place. He's like got his black belt recently. Like,
I really like his style.
How much he's come on. Like he was always very good, right? But like since he's been teaching regularly,
his podcast is number 2 in the list now.
Is it? Yeah, of course, because like house people mostly, most of our listeners are people we train with or know, and they'll be like, oh, he's the guy that coaches us a lot. Like, his was too. We need him back on actually and do more.
Because he's black belt now.
Get more of his personality out as well. Because we were very formal on that one and respectful, which was nice. But like.
There is a side to him that people.
Yeah. We want to get the jokes out and like, have a laugh and talk shit. Yeah. On that note,
good enough.
Play it to you, Nan.